I'm
moving.
going
I mean,
to
it was up there in a
load
half hour.
both sides
Wow.
with
I know, there was
Ruby Best.
no
I'm going
traffic.
to come over and get a load of the
I'm just
maroon,
like,
which is
what?
darker. This is the maroon
Usually I hit a
color
lot
in
of
here. You can
traffic.
see the value
Especially when I hit
difference.
the 10.
Okay,
They
So,
all waited till today.
I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lay that maroon in with a series of overlapping, just pulling that in towards the vanishing point. I'm pulling that value in there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take this brush that has no paint, it's just an oiled brush, spread it out, press it off, and I'm going to come in here and start just pulling out and pushing in to, I want to melt this edge off so that the value goes from dark to medium
That,
to melting away
Dog
to
treat jar,
nothing.
the small one.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
okay,
And
so I've melted
I
that
love
off.
this because
Now,
there's another girl in
while
our-
I
our
still
club,
can
she's an
remember,
artist,
and I'm
and
looking here,
am
I
so
can
tired of
see
doing art with the
those,
club.
so I'm going to come
Yeah.
So I
in
called her
here
up
and
I said,
start
"Hey,
pressing
Leslie,
off,
how would you like to do the next
finding
fundraiser
those
for me?"
sepal things
And I sent her
again.
the jar, and she did a
And
really
I
cute
want to be sure
illustration
and
around
break
it.
that
And I said,
edge
"Hey,
so
could
I
you do
don't have a
something for the
hard
rim that goes
line.
around like a Scotty chasing a squirrel?" I love being able to tell people to do that.
And they do
Okay.
And they
It's very
do it.
nice.
Now see how
It's very
far
good.
out they go?
But somebody else has
Okay.
to do the artwork.
Now I need your little wipeout
So
tool,
now
the
will you
little
make
red
that a
one.
decal?
Yes.
I'll make
With
that
the-
a
it has
decal.
a little
Scan
red
in her
tip.
drawing, and
Yeah.
I'll send that off and make a decal.
Cute.
Maybe add just maybe
Okay.
a little paint.
So
I
you
say
can
it's
see
hand-painted.
that I have to scratch through
As Irene
to get
says.
those little
So.
things that support it. So I'm going to scratch through here.
You could probably have a cute business with that. If you could just figure out to change each dog so people could have their own
Oh yeah.
Okay.
dogs.
I have to have those.
Like labs.
I
or
don't. There's no
yeah,
other way I can
Baldwins and
suggest that those little things are in there.
Switch
And
the kind
what
of
I
dog
when I
when they
would put
order
this
the
in
treat
here, I
jar,
will scratch
and then
through
you
too.
just
Okay.
hand paint
So right now you're
Yeah.
doing it through the
penny
penny.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
put
So
the name
now
of the dog on it.
this
You could
is
probably
not
sell those for
very pretty.
$35.
Why is that?
Easily.
It's kind of all like it looks like
Straight
a cat's,
line.
yeah.
Pretty
'Cause
much
I
a
had to
straight
think of a new
line.
fundraiser for
So-
the trophy fund for the next year's specialty. And I
So
thought,
I'm
"Oh,
going
the
to come
treat
in
jars."
here
and,
and I'm going
pre-order
to
and put a
put
deposit down,
a little
and then I don't
something
have
like
to
that.
ask
Do you
the
see
club
how
for
I've
money
gotten those in
to
there?
start it again.
That
like I
is
did the
what is
cookbooks.
telling the viewer that the petal, when it's in a bud,
So
all those
guaranteed.
How
petals
many
cup up,
members are in the
and they're
Scotty
in
Club?
those green sepals.
Yeah,
So when the
so
green
in the
sepals
California
open up,
Club, it's
and the
probably
petals
100 and
fall
some odd
away,
members, but
they
we
still
have
have
all the
that
other
cupped
clubs
shape
around,
close to the
carrier clubs.
base,
Okay.
so that they fall
So when
away
your
and then
jar
the
goes
edges
out, you
roll
could end
away.
up having to do a
So
few
that's what you're
hundred
trying to
of
do. Okay,
Yeah.
now that's hard.
Because then
So I'm
somebody
gonna
will
go
say
to
Michigan
this
and the Michigan
brush
Club
with
will
the-
want some. Or the Florida, the
with
Tampa,
no
Florida
paint
Club
in
will
it.
want
Just oil.
Yeah,
Or, you
and
know,
I'm just going to start
Wow.
softening
So-
that. And that is the hard part. That takes
Now, will
a very
somebody
light
come help
touch.
you?
I'm trying to touch
No, I
the
do it.
paint and not the china, and I want to
I do
blur
the decals all at once, and then
that hard
I'll put
edge
you know,
off.
Then I come back with the other stuff.
So
That's
I'm
what I'm
going to come in
thinking. You should
here
switch some
and
dogs
just
and make some
blur
money off of it,
and
Cheryl.
blur, so that it gives the effect.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
that
If the
it's-
other clubs want it,
It's cupped
I
in the
can
middle.
because it says STCC.
Now this looks like it
I
has
can
like
put
two
their
little
club name
ears
in
out
place.
here.
It looks like a cat.
Yeah.
but we get the
So
money
I'm going to
Yeah, no.
put that
because she
shading
did a
on
little
here
banner and she did that in there, and I thought, oh, I could change that out easy.
with that overlapping C stroke, and I'm just going to kind of edit this a little bit.
Perfect. Yeah, I can-
Okay, and you can wink this off when you wink that off.
Can you wink
does
just
it
one
have?
piece, one
Oh,
part
yeah.
of the piece, with a Q-tip or something?
Mm-hmm. I usually use a little piece of napkin so that it sticks down to it.
So
Okay,
think
now
this
I
makes
have
a
to
very
refine this.
affordable
See, that's
gift.
not
Oh, yeah.
refined yet. That's not smooth enough.
But I
So
thought I
I'm going to
would
go
get
back
the-
in there
The
and,
new Disney cars.
so that I can get it
Into a
smooth like
sheet
this.
for the boys.
So that's what I'm going
Oh,
to try and
yeah.
do. So now I'm going to
In
come
the
in
family.
here and just,
That new little car's cute.
I'm going
Cars
over
3.
Yeah.
lightly,
I like him.
and I'm knocking down the
Like, I don't know
piled
what
up
it is yet.
textured paint. So I'm coming in
just
here and
love this
I'm
cupcake
pulling it
things.
very gently. I'm
They're so
barely
darling.
touching that paint.
I'm going to use it
I'm
for
not
the
hitting
tea,
the
so
china.
Liz
And I'm
Graham is
just
supposed to
making
bring
overlapping
cupcakes.
strokes. To do that,
hope
I
people
have
don't
this
walk off.
braced. I have my hand braced here. There is no
I've had
weight
that
on the
happen.
end of this brush.
Yes.
So I am
I
pulling.
gotta go up to Classic Cake and
Like
get
that.
the buttercream
Okay.
frosting.
And do you see how I can?
I
Now,
went in there and got
we're
the
going to
cookie
nip
ice.
that off and nip
Nip
that
that
off.
off.
Yeah.
They, you know, 'cause I said to my sister, I said, I really don't
But
want to mix up.
When you look at
buttercream
this
frosting.
piece,
And she goes, "Go Classic Cakes and
you
just
have
get what you need
a
for
lot
50
of dark
cupcakes."
around it. So,
Surf is
you know,
closed.
let's see which
Well,
one is
we have to
this.
drive back up to Culver City
That's this one
to get the
right
cream
here.
puffs for the tea.
So there'll be
I'm
dark
always
around
up to
there
put
that
I'm
we could
surprised
cover
it
it up.
closed.
You know,
The ears.
The red
yeah,
tile
the
and
little,
the-
the little, they're
high
very
one.
light and
It's
everything.
high.
And
Okay.
then this one it would be
Highlights.
have harder because
Well,
that's on
so
the
does I
lighter.
drove all
Yeah,
the way there
this and
because I
this
was
is
gonna
what
go
you're going to
over
need
there.
to do. Now, also in
It's
here,
closed. And they said, "Oh, go to Chef's Toys."
this would be
The Chef's
prettier
Toys has,
if it came
you
in
know,
like
hardware,
that,
and that's it.
rather
They
than
don't have all the
straight
food.
here.
Yeah, they don't have all
So
the
when we
colors
put
and
the
all
dark in, we're just going
Well,
to edit that right
cost
there,
plus.
and we'll have it more
They don't
graceful.
have all that
Okay.
stuff.
All
No,
right.
they don't.
No.
So there's
No, they
things
don't.
that
So
you
then
can
have
correct
the-
on that you
the
don't have to
frozen
wink
stuff
on
that I
because you'll
buy,
just
the
be
Fuel
putting
cups and the
dark in
Yeah.
there.
puff pastry.
Okay.
Because I wanted to
tiny
get some
one.
So-
puff pastry because that's going to make
Now,
chicken pot pies.
I
And the
find
puff
it
pastry
easier
looks
to use
great
the two
on
different
top.
brushes, one to
Yeah.
load on the paint and
Carmel
one to
Market
yeah,
used to have
one
it.
to